Well, bias alert. 2014 saw some of the craziest stories on college campuses where conservatives seem to be the main target. Joining us now with his review, his year in review list, is the editor-in-chief of Campus Reform, Caleb Bonham. Caleb, great to see you again.
Good morning, Clayton.
All right, so what was the criterion for putting this list together, Caleb?
Well, the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform has had a very busy year compiling all the instances of liberal ridiculousness on campus, whether it's bias and abuse, whether it's professors going crazy in these undercover videos of their rants, or, textbooks that are absolutely not factual. So we've compiled a list of the craziest stories.
So, all right, let's get to number one here on your list. Ronald Reagan. Tell us about this one. What happened?
So University of South Carolina, in a social work class, not a political science class, was teaching these kids that Ronald Reagan was a sexist who never appointed women to any positions of policymaking or positions of power, that he wanted them to be in primarily domestic functions, which is not true at all. Ronald Reagan appointed Sandra Day O'Connor not to the food court, but to the Supreme Court. He appointed over 1,400 women to top policymaking positions. And it was a pretty surprising instance of bias in a textbook for students who really, honestly, aren't politically minded, don't know any better.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Elizabeth Dole also on that list for Ronald Reagan as well. All right, next on your list, California. What happened in California? A lot of crazy stories come out of California.
Oh, all the time. And you're seeing the California State University system took the InterVarsity Fellowship, which is a Christian ministry, and because of anti-discrimination laws, they took their campus ministry and said, you're derecognized. We no longer recognize you. Why? Because the InterVarsity had the audacity to demand that their leaders be Christians, share the same faith. They don't want an atheist running their group, just as the atheist club on campus doesn't want a Christian running their group. But they derecognize them because of anti-discrimination policies, which flies in the face of what this country stands for.
Here's something else that flies in the face of what this country stands for. What unfolded on a university campus, I remember this well on Fox and Friends. They're threatening students who are passing out the Constitution to other students.
Yeah, they're threatening students at Southern Oregon University who are passing out the Constitution. Now, it came in, these students were a little concerned walking past these kids with these Constitutions. They were intimidated, but then the administrators came out and forced them to move, or, intimidated them to move, because they weren't in 1% of the campus designated the free speech zone. Now, free speech zones have been ruled to be unconstitutional by several federal courts, but 1 in 6 universities still have free speech zones.
What was the update on this story? I mean, they were told these free speech zones, as you mentioned, basically illegal. So they're standing there handing out the Constitution, which would enable people to have free speech in the first place, and they're being told they can't do it.
Well, the university, they didn't, like I said, they didn't actually reprimand the students or give any disciplinary action. And I think a lot of that is due to the coverage of the national media, because the university realized how crazy it is to do that to students. But here's the bigger problem, Clayton. When you take a look at a professor who gets up in front of his class and bashes conservatives, or a textbook that's claiming that Ronald Reagan is sexist, the university will defend that. Why? They claim that is free speech, that is academic freedom. They will go to bat for those professors. But when a student goes out on campus and tries to pass out the Constitution, they threaten disciplinary action. And that is double-minded policies that the university have, and they need to get rid of them. They need to allow for free speech and academic freedom.
Caleb, always great to see you. Happy New Year to you. I have a prediction we'll have you back again next year, and by then we're going to have more hidden camera videos. With all the cell phone videos, there's going to be a lot more that you guys are going to be reporting next year.
Got to get the lapel pin cameras. Happy New Year, Clayton.
Thanks, Caleb. All right, over to Elizabeth and Scott. What's coming up?
Thanks, Clayton.